will get us underway in the early stages of this one. They've only met 3 times before these. Manchester City won on 2 occasions. They drew the other, but the Sky Blues have scored 11 goals in just 3 games against the side from the northeast. But it's Hurst who looked to get on the front foot early on. To the free kick, referee didn't flinch. City, it's a scrappy start to this one and almost give away the possession again on the edge of the Hasegawa. Benny, one to beat. Gregory does well to hold her up and almost stops her getting into the penalty area. Early chance for Shaw. Gets Andre Yeglet's watching on end of last season. Tasked with the job of hunting Chelsea down at the top end of the WSL table. They're 1 point behind the Blues after 5 games of the season as Bunny Shaw advances forward once more. Again, some real far this season. Hoping that the goalkeeper, Lazel, feeds it down the line. Again, Newcastle press high and almost win it back. In fact, here's Nobbs. Chance to get the shot in. It's a smart save. The corner is floated into the near post. It's a solid header away from Rose. Newcastle need to be careful as City apply the... Rose needs to be careful. Murphy's lurking. Newcastle win it back again here. What can they muster up? Shot from distance. Oh, that is absolutely spectacular. You simply cannot stop those. And do we have a shock on our hands here? Newcastle with an early lead. Absolutely no mistake. What a start from Newcastle United. Can City bounce back? Flick on from... Formerly of West Ham United, represented England as well. She's put her side in the lead and they're hungry for more. Murphy into the area. Nowhere to go. Runs into a bit of traffic. Another shot from distance from Nobbs. Virgino. Nobbs' ball forward. Lovely first touch from Murphy. She's got options. She's going to go herself, twist and a turn. Eventually, the shot is... Lazel with the throw-in. Decent one into the penalty area. Here's Shaw. Here's a chance. Deflects. Moan tips it over the crossbar. That's the best we've seen from Manchester City in the... This time, City goes short. 1-2 from the corner. Lovely ball in. There's a flick on. And just rolls it back. Whether it's City now who are looking to win the ball back high up the field. Good challenge from Hasegawa. Now Coombs returns it to Hasegawa, who's made a run towards the edge of the area. Maybe unfamiliar territory for the defensive midfielder out on the left flank. Couldn't manage Jade Rose, who finds Lohman once more. Now for Gino. Space on this side once more. Benny, 1 to beat. Stokes back defending, squares it across, scuffed effort goalwards. Newcastle eventually do well to... What can City do here? Hasegawa. Looks to feed it through. Benny once more. Gregory in there for Newcastle. Virgino. Joel to beat. Edge of the area. Tussle for possession. City managed to clear. The ball up towards the penalty area wasn't the best. City come away with the possession, but again, have to be careful. It's a bit of a high-risk play here as they look to make their way out of their own half of the field, but they do so brilliantly. Virgino. Options left and right. Newcastle stretched at the back. Virgino still going. Feeds it into Shaw. Takes a touch, clips it back across. Could be useful. Wahabi arrived. Support on halfway. Lovely ball in towards the feet of Hasegawa. However, loses out in the challenge. Newcastle go direct. Murphy's lurking. Forces some very good defending, but City give the ball away again. Shot from distance, deflects. Count on the scoreboard. City looking to hit back. Virginia clips it in. Again, a menacing ball. Half of the ball there. Luckily for her, her side managed to keep hold of the possession there. Luckily for her, her side managed to keep hold of the possession. Lovely flick there from Hasegawa. Moment to go. Couldn't manage to clear that time. Here's Shaw, edge of the area. Does fall. Fujino, shot comes in off the post. Lost out. Looks to try and get the ball back up towards the penalty area. She almost wrestles the possession back, but City do eventually manage to rekindle the ball. Chance to get it into the middle. Bennett look. Floated ball forward. Shaw on the end of it. Keeper comes. Run there, tracking the ball back towards Moan. However, no harm done in the end. City win a free kick. Just a tug on the shirt there. Hands over it. Goes short in the end. Hasegawa lofts it in. Headed clear by Mannion. Clear this one, but here's Wahabi. Saveni is to beat. Forced back. Floated ball in. Shaw was there. Notepad in hand. Last chance of the half, you'd think, with Benny. Towards the area, gets past Stokes, still going, squares it across, and there is the equaliser. Duly deserved. Comes with the finish. A brilliant and a real sucker punch for Becky Langley's side to deal with ahead of the break. And it was almost the final kick of 45 minutes, and Lois Joel with an absolute screamer to give the home side. It is Newcastle United 1, Manchester City 1. Put the laces through that one. Almost takes the netting off the goalposts. Nothing Claudia Moan could do about it. And for all of Newcastle's hard work in the first, towards the penalty area, City looks to charge. Could be a decent ball in. Here's Hasegawa. And whatever Andrea Yegler said in the changing rooms at half-time, it has worked to City at the start of the second half. Yui Hasegawa in an advanced position in the penalty, and his side take the lead in this one. Newcastle United area, and absolutely smashes it into the top corner. Lovely weighted ball. Gregory, one to beat. Stokes looks to get on the loose ball. Bit of it. Gregory's okay is. Well, whatever, Becky. January signing for A. Gregory, only 22 years of age, joined from Aston Villa. She's represented England at youth level, but brave run forward. Feeds a pass into Lazel, space to work with. Goal scorer of City's second, Hasegawa. Does well to keep hold of the ball. Benny chips it in. Mannion's there to clear. Diagonal. Gregory back on. Lazel to beat. Lovely bit of footwork. There's a cross. There's a clearance from City. Not the best clearance, but Hasegawa on hand just to cool as you like. Put a foot on the ball. Just maintain the possession momentarily. But here come Newcastle again. Joel. Now Mannion. Lovely weighted pass. Nobbs goes for goal. Spilt by the goalkeeper. Real chance for Murphy. Squares it. Here comes City again. Fujino. Winding run forward. Finds Wahabi. One to beat. Squares it back. Fujino again. Looks to kill. Hasegawa on the corner. Her goal, the difference between the two sides. Wicked ball into the near post. Flicked clear by the Magpies again. Collected by Wahabi. Hasegawa in support. Finds her as well. Chance to get the ball in. Comes from distance. Ambitious to up. And over the halfway line again as Savenius is lurking in behind there. Rose had to be alert, and she was. Eventually managed to clear the ball away and just turns the ball back. Hales his first action. And it's not the best ball in. Wahhabi opts to keep it in the field of play. Finds Coombs, who takes a touch, lays it off towards Hasegawa. Hales now the highest up the field. It looks as though Murphy's just sat into that 3 in behind as the ball was played down. He is inside the 6-yard area. Once more, City goes short with what looked to be the 1-2. Eventually clipped into the area again. Smart defensive header from Greg. Mannion with the challenge, but can't win it off short. Will be another wicked in-swinger for Newcastle to deal with. This one's high towards the far post. Keeper punches, not the best. It's a real mess. It's gone in, and Claudia Moan will not want to see that go back. They're back underway again. But it was once an afternoon that was filled with anticipation for Newcastle United. A strong first half showing has been undone in the second. And now City look like they've got a spring in their step here. Here they come again with Benny. Options in the middle. Wicked ball in. Blinkel Brown has it. Just plays the 1-2 with Hasegawa. Floated ball in. Could be menacing. Back across goal. Nicely weighted ball infield by Wardlaw. Now Newcastle on the move. Here's Murphy. Options in the middle. A goal now will make things interesting. Murphy crosses. Greenwood blocks. Hasegawa clears. Hales breaks forward. She has options in support. Now Knobs. Shapes to shoot. Does so themselves in this contest with Manchester City, the side pushing at the top of the WSL. And this time it is the 3-time cup winners who almost a mix-up at the back on as a substitute. Before looking to feed it forward. That was a risky ball, and it was well read by Murphy. Now Newcastle could break. Murphy with options to her left. Manages to find Gregory. What can she muster up here? Decent ball in. Keating comes and punches. A volley from the... Many in the stadium inclined to agree, but City still have the possession. Hasegawa. Looks to tussle for the ball. Coombs involved there as well, but Newcastle clear. Smart play there from Hales to turn it with a 2-goal lead to defend. As Newcastle apply the press again. Here's Hales, 3-on-3. What can Newcastle muster up here? Support as well, but Hales goes from distance. Miedemar. Hasegawa returns it back to the Dutch international. Drives forward. Could be a chance for her to find an opening. Just lays it off towards Coombs. Now Wahhabi. Floated ball in. Short, opts not to go for it. Just too much on it for her to be able to contest for. But the shot eventually comes in. Hasegawa has caused chaos so far in this game from these balls in. This time Newcastle managed to clear it away towards the edge of the box. It's a scuffed clearance. Wahhabi collects. Looks to feed it back in towards the edge of the area. And anywhere will do for Newcastle United. And they could do with it falling into us down the touchline. Lumsden. Into the penalty area. Hales there in support. Once more, City come up with the answers. Have to be careful as Pryor played it back towards Keating, who was stood with her heels almost on her own goal line. Newcastle rekindle the possession. Cross comes in. Oh, it's found the back of the net. And maybe a lifeline for Newcastle United. A real... And Newcastle have a glimmer of hope in this one. One that can't win it off the head of Greenwood. Will City look to try sit back and stick with what they've got? Or try find another goal to attempt to put this one beyond. Signed for Newcastle. She puts Greenwood under some more pressure here. Hales helping out as well. Cool as you like from Keating to find Greenwood. And just look at how Manchester City managed to play their way out of danger once more. Members of the game. How Newcastle United will love a goal in this one. However, they give away the possession. Chance for City to wrap this one up. Here's Shaw. edge of the area. Miedemar looks to hit one. Will take a point in the group stage. Miedemar there. Clever play from a signal of their intentions, maybe, that they won't rest on their laurels. They fancy another one. Stay like this. And they needed a win today to keep any hope of qualification alive. The City swing the ball into the middle, flicked across goal. A goal here would surely seal it. Miedemar looking to do so. Deflects kind of. Not only first place qualifies for Wahhabi. In the end, did just enough to nick it off the boot of Hales, who would have been through onto an open net there. But now it's City who launch an attack forward. Greg just tugs the arm of Bunny Shaw, but can't stop her. Wicked ball across goal. Wahhabi. The ball breaks. Here's Nobbs. Options left and right. Switching it out towards Murphy. Good touch from her. Takes it past one. Looks to hit one from distance. Oh, it's found the back of the net. And out of nowhere, Newcastle United rescue a point here. A real hammer blow to Andre Jeglert's side, who will have work to do if they are to qualify. They're looking to now find a winner. 3 absolute worldies from Newcastle United as the ball's put back into the middle here. Bunny time of the additional time here at the Gateshead International Stadium. Can either side find a winner? The referee, Stacey Phillips, looks at her watch, opts not to blow her whistle now, but Wahhabi, you feel, needs to hurry up here if her side are going to find a winning goal, but they have run out of time, and a sensational comeback. It was a Freya Gregory goal which got them back into it to bring the scores back to 3-2 after 3 quick-fire goals from Manchester City. The first from Laura Coombs on the brink of half-time. The second from Hasegawa to fight. But what an effort from Becky Langley's side. Both head coaches now just issuing a few inches of momentum here as both teams just begin to march towards that halfway of the slight psychological advantage as Hale steps up and makes no mistake. Level in the penalty shootout. Mo makes herself look big. It is Kasparai. And it is 1-1 in the shootout. United and Manchester City playing now for Newcastle. Steps up, and you do not stop the ever-reliable Yui Hasegawa. Scored City's second in this one. Has a chance from the spot to square things up in the shootout. And she makes no mistake. Hits the roof of the net. A confident, assured finish from Yui Hasegawa. Not sure had a chance of keeping that one out. Rifles it into the roof of the net. Hands on hips. Right-footed. Never in any doubt. To pull them square once more in the shootout. And almost Moan gets a glove on. Emily Murphy, whose late effort put Newcastle into the penalty shootout. And her latest effort square once more. Newcastle piling on the pressure in the shootout. Greenwood hits it. Moan almost gets there again. Closing teams this afternoon as Nobbs steps up right-footed. Almost catches Keating out. Will Claudia Moan be the hero? It is Miedemar. Never in doubt from the Dutch deficit before Newcastle equalised in the shootout. Off the crossbar and into the back of the hero. Wahhabi steps up left-footed. Moan almost gets there. Off the post, just taking a time over the run-up. Slots it to the keeper's left, and Keating makes herself big on the goal line. Blinkel-Brown hits it and wins the shootout for Manchester City. From Manchester City after Blinkel-Brown fires it home. And what a game we've seen for Becky Langley's side. They push Manchester City all the way, divisions apart. And the opening goal was almost a metaphor of things to come as Lois Joel gave Newcastle United the opener early on with 3 quick-fire goals, even some late goals from Newcastle United. However, on the penalty shootout, Blinko Brown is the hero. 3-3 after 90. Well, I want to have an ear in that conversation from the man.